What happens if you touch receipt paper daily? If you touch receipt paper daily, as long as you're washing your hands, you should be fine. They did compare the absorption of BPA and BPS, and the bad thing about using BPA is BPA readily absorbs through the skin. It did not seem as if BPS was the same. So if you have BPS on your thermal paper instead of BPA, yeah, the BPS might be getting off onto the skin in an amount that's like more than what's allowed, but it's not sinking into the skin, which is why I'm not necessarily that worried about that headline. But of course, I posted the headline and people are freaking out about it. So it's been known for a while that bisphenol A can transfer from printer paper onto the skin. So bisphenol A has been phased out of receipt paper, and it's still not a lot. It's still a very minuscule amount. It's not an amount you can see. It's not an amount you can feel. For holding a receipt paper for 5 seconds, roughly 1 microgram of BPA was transferred onto the forefinger and the middle finger, around 10 times more if the fingers were wet or greasy. I looked into their testing method for their certification at Center for Environmental Health, and it says that they do liquid or gas chromatography mass spec for detection of bisphenols and bisphenol analogs. This is directly from the article that I showed in my paper, but I couldn't find the studies or the data from the testing of the independent lab, so I don't know how accurate this is or if this is someone else's interpretation, but it says, and I quote, "Based on these studies and the testing by an independent lab, the concentrations were so high that touching only one receipt with BPS for 10 seconds resulted in exposure above the safe harbor level, which requires a clear and reasonable warning to consumers." The only thing is, BPS doesn't absorb into the skin like BPA does. So I don't think we need to be as worried as with BPA, but it's definitely a reason for companies to change what paper they're using. And this is better for the environment. So I think it's just an overall win for consumers and companies. Companies are not going to be polluting as much, right? Because they're not going to be using this thermal receipt paper, and consumers aren't going to be exposed to these bisphenols and this BPS, BPA as much, and it won't be thrown out in the environment, degrading out in the dirt somewhere, getting in the water supply. Yeah.